What is up, everybody? This is Mike, and this is another Shell Shock Podcast by Red Cycling Inc. I am Mike. I'm joined by Tenacious T, aka
Tatsuwap, aka the man with too many AKAs.
Yeah, the man with many names.
Well, it's just two. And then on my Popcorny podcast, I just say Tommy for short.
And Tommy Cupcakes.
Yeah, well,
that's my original nickname for you.
Originally, yeah. We want to go back then. But yes, I am in the building.
Yeah.
I am here for another Shell Shock.
Shell Shock Podcast. We are back, and we are going to give our verdict of season 2 of the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Well, this is like 2004 now, right?
Yeah, but this is considered
2003 to 8.
So this is considered TMNT 03.
Okay.
So that's how they categorize it.
Okay. So it's not like, hey,
like
we're going to do it
TMNT
yearly.
89, TMNT 03, TMNT
and that's
12.
it, from then to there.
TMT 12.
Okay.
And then the ones we don't talk about.
It's not like the Morphin Cast where we have to literally iterate what year.
No.
So
if you say TMNT 03, they know exactly that you're talking about this.
Okay. I mean, I actually prefer to do it by the year so you can understand the time frame of where you are in the time. So
yeah. So this is season 2. This was still showing on Fox during the time. Animation still pretty dope. But before we go into the cartoon, I got a lot of collectibles that I picked up during the time of the last cast to this cast. So if you look right behind you, I got the big ass VHS.
Well, everybody out there in podcast land, I am turning around and I am looking to see what he has over here.
It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze 4-pack.
How much did that run you?
$120.
It's not bad.
And it's all 4 turtles.
Did you do installments?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got that in the accessory pack.
Okay, that's what's
up. So that came in probably within this month. Oh no, last month. And it's the 4-pack of the 4 turtles from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. They are all kind of more smiley than they are in the first movie. They're more serious tone.
Yeah.
They have the smiley face.
They had the spots on the
my
face
only
and
complaint, and I told this to Jerry, shout outs to
Mind of an Artist.
Mind of an Artist and all that stuff. Shout outs to him. I told him the only thing I'm disappointed, they didn't have the Weeble Wobble in the accessory pack.
The Weeble Wobble. I'm trying to think.
The clown. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But the Weeble Wobble, though, the clown was only there for a second. You know what I mean?
But it's a big accessory. Like everyone remembers that part.
I do.
So
I do remember it.
That's the reason why I was like.
Do they have cold cut?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It comes actually
sausage, pepperonis.
Yeah. He has
combat cold cuts.
He has the combat cold cuts. He has the aprons they wore when they were cleaning April's house. It has the potato chip bags. It has the pizza boxes. It has the Toka Razor as unmutant knives when they turn back.
Hey man, I think one of these days we're gonna have to revisit those. You know what I mean? I know we've seen them a million times, but just for shits and giggles,
Yeah, you know what I want to try to do, and this is maybe when we have also like Rayshawn back or something like that.
To the max, shout out to the max.
We could do like a watch along.
Okay.
But we technically can't put the movie on, but we could cast while watching the movie and actually have our reactions and all that shit.
It's going to be more of the commentary, you know what I mean, of us reacting to the movie, you know what I mean? And I've seen multiple video casts of it, you know
so
what I mean?
I thought about doing that, and could be a live stream. That would be something planned. That was something that people could view while we're watching.
I'm down for it
and
all.
Stuff like that. If it's on YouTube, I'm going to try to be like less of the cursing wise, but other than that, it would be good to do, especially if we do live and stuff like that. Because the mix of
YouTube, you can curse. Twitch is the thing.
You can't self-inflict pain. You can't do anything self-infliction.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Well, we're drinking alcohol.
As in, like, if you saying, "Oh, I'm about to hurt myself tonight," that's going to be like, no, you can't.
Is there any toys coming out? Anything new? Any announcements?
Oh shit, there's a ton. So you've been to New York Comic Con. You saw them all.
I did.
So now we're getting like kind of more previews of the releases that are coming out. So you have the lost years of the Last Ronin figures coming out.
Well, the comic, I just got confirmation right now, literally yesterday, that the first issue is out and now is being shipped to my house because I did pre-order these. I'm not playing around this time because every single issue of The Last Ronin is going up.
Skyrocket.
It's literally becoming like a cult classic. Probably one of the best comic book stories in the last
really hoping
10 years, I would say.
Like DC Animation gets their hands on it and they'd be able to do an animated movie of it.
I mean, it would be amazing.
That would be dope.
It would be amazing.
But Nickelodeon owns it, so.
Yeah, well, but they can do it, but it would have to be really censored.
You know, honestly, I could see them. You know what?
HBO should get a hold of it somehow. So, you know what I mean? Because the way that they do the DC movies, DC, as we know, their animated movies are that's the
reason why I said DC.
They're fucking amazing. You know what I mean? So it's like Marvel has the MCU, which has been.
I've been enjoying it. Like,
it's been dampering a little bit. They've been putting out too much content.
I've been enjoying it because right now is again. This is going to be a whole different cast, but this is like that, and this is something that gets me annoyed with people like, oh, see, Phase 4 is probably the worst thing. I was like, you know that the Phase 1 was a test, right?
Yeah.
They wasn't 100% sure it was going to go happen.
But because of what we've led up to, it's etched in stone as phenomenal work.
But Phase...
I mean,
Iron Man 2...
Iron Man, yo, Mickey Rourke was the man, bro. I don't care what anybody say.
Great,
Mickey Rourke is the man.
Mickey Rourke was great, but the movie wasn't that great. But it's just saying in general, like Phase 4, I think it was just a depression fucking phase. Like there was a lot of death, there was a lot of loss, there was a lot of things. And honestly, I think Phase 5 is going to follow suit with that. It's going to be the phase of like fucking sadness.
Well, we're in the multiverse world now, so the sky's the limit.
Yeah, because then you have like Guardians of the Galaxy. You know they're gonna fucking go.
Yeah, you know. Well, they already confirmed. I think like 3 members of them are gonna die.
I'm gonna break. My heart gonna break when Rocket dies. And I'm hoping.
But Rocket's going to sacrifice himself. I already know that.
He's going to sacrifice himself.
He's going to because he's that egotistical one, and then he's going to
brag about it. Right?
You know what I mean? Look at Groot. Groot already sacrificed himself.
But it's going to be interesting where we go.
But it's neither here or there. Yeah. But I do agree that HBO, the DC, which is what now, Discovery?
Whatever the fuck it is. Though.
James Gunn?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's in charge of the movies, or he's in charge of the whole thing?
He's in charge of. He's kind of like the Kevin Feige of the DCU. You know?
Is it Feige of that machine at the end of She-Hulk? Feige?
Yeah, Feige.
That shit was hilarious. But yes, I can see a Last Ronin, but maybe put it to like. Obviously not Nickelodeon. You can't do it. You can't do it that way. You have to have it PG-13 at least.
You know, the thing is, I think Nickelodeon can go the route because even their so they did a movie recently for Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was the last cartoon series. They did actually a full movie.
Yeah,
that's on Netflix. It was really fucking good. It had its humor, but it got really dark at times, and it was actually really good.
If you did it like the crossover with Batman, I think it would work.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like the art style. And
you know what I mean? Obviously, you're not going to see the blade go through Raphael. You're not going to see it. You're going to see the impact of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it is a dramatic thing. It is, like I said, it's probably one of the best reads that I've read in like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Of comics. Like, and there has been a lot of good things out. Like Three Jokers was amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're reading we're going to start reading more and more of the crossovers and stuff like that. Going tune into the Morphin Cast, we will have a crossover of the Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, which is so far awesome in the first issue of the second one.
And the second one just dropped,
So I really would like that. I do like the original Ronin figure.
Yeah.
But I also seen the other 2 figures that are out, and I'm like, I don't want to see him in the Lost Years, the gi, like the samurai gi. Like it just didn't. I had it in my hands, and normally I'm an impulse buyer. I put it right back. I'm like, I already have the one.
I have the one that. That's the one, and it looks so dope. Like I have it out there now. This is really dope.
It's super dope, and it's gonna come with me right now and hang out. I don't gotta hold it up this time. So
I have a nice little. Actually, you bought me those stands, mad years ago.
I'm happy that you're putting it to use, bro.
There's some of them in the Turtles area and stuff like that. Yeah,
leaning over Super Shredder.
Yeah, because that's the only way you can fucking stand. Anyway, so Last Run would be dope to see in the movie form or animated form in that general. But it was probably one of my favorite books that I read last year, 100%.
Now in our last cast we were also describing the monster series that's out.
Yeah.
Has there been any sightings of Splinter?
Splinter been showing up.
I haven't seen Splinter at Target
so
yet.
So Splinter been showing up, and
they need to bring Leo back because Leo's the only one that I need.
And I know Donatello and Casey are set for March.
Okay.
So you're gonna start seeing them in stores.
I got to see them in person at Comic-Con, and when I tell you they are everything that you expect them to be, they're amazing.
I saw the pictures of Casey. Casey look pretty cool. I think the one that I'm looking forward to seeing in person is Donatello.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I've seen it in person though. I've seen it all.
Yeah.
They're dope. They really are, and you got to buy multiple of them.
Yeah.
You have to open them up. You have to play with it. You got to let it breathe. But then you also have to package one to the side because we're fans and we're collectors.
I'm looking at my display case and I kind of want again. I have 2 more shelves I want to do something with, and I'm always like conflicted of what I want to do with it because I have so much shit. So there's one mentality. I wanted to put all the 80s bad guys into one thing. Okay. But then it got really expensive, and I stopped.
Hey man, just give me a list of the things you're looking for. You know.
Well, you found me some, and I got the one because I got like Skeletor. I got the Revelation Skeletor.
I still got to get you a Razor though.
I got Shredder. I got the old school Toka Razor.
Yeah, no, you need Razor to go with it, bro. Yeah. And I'm gonna get it.
But also I have like Megatron, Starscreen. I have Soundwave. I have a lot of those things.
Man, you just got a Howard the Duck in. Okay, that's fucking cool. Shouts out to Eric, man.
Yeah, shouts out to Eric. Yeah, the Howard the Duck. It was actually cool. I've been meaning, like, I'll probably put it in my pocket when we do Power Wash, and I'm gonna like take pictures with the clock and shit, and dope. Just have him around Grand Central, just taking pictures of him.
It'd be pretty cool, bro. Yeah. Howard the Duck doesn't get enough recognition.
I'm gonna make a side TikTok, Howard the Duck and Grand Central.
I mean, he's the anti-Donald, so he's the man. And technically, he's in the same universe as Donald.
My only disappointment with him is his legs don't move.
So he just sits there. So he has to waddle.
He just stands there.
He has to waddle when he walks.
He just stands there. His legs don't bend.
He's got web feet.
Yeah. But I have a lot of Turtles stuff too that I want to do. I thought about putting all the Monsters ones. I might actually just save the Monsters ones for like Halloween and have a Halloween display for it.
Have them throw like a little party, like a monster mash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So there's a lot of ideas I have. I just got the second series of the WWE Ninja Turtles. I gotta find a way to put them up there.
Oh man, I still want the old ones, bro. The old ones are so dope.
Yeah. So that's the 4. Yeah, I got the last 4 down over there.
For everybody out there in podcast land, this guy can do a podcast of just his toys.
So if you look over there, that's the Donatello Warrior.
No, right here, yeah. Oh, it's super dope. The pink is cool.
And then Raphael is The Rock, Leonardo's Finn Balor, the Demon, and then you have Michelangelo as Hot Rod, Roddy Piper.
Well, I'm going to project into the universe the one thing that you've been longing for a very long time. NECA, make a Donatelli for this man, please.
Man,
please.
I give up.
But are they done with the cartoons?
No.
I mean, how many more characters can they bring out?
So a lot of the characters they've been bringing are from like the later seasons.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of like the older seasons they could do. I know they're doing more of the Archie comics now. There's a lot they could do with the Archie comics. So then you had the alternate colored turtles. Like I remember, I think it was Raphael that he was just a shadow. He was just like all black turtle.
Okay.
And because he got hit with a cosmic thing and he could teleport and shit.
That was the one that what's the one that I just got you with the leather jacket and stuff?
Those were
it's like a Shang figure, right?
Loyal subjects.
Like Loyal subjects.
Loyal subjects. BS figures.
Because if you know what I'm talking about, like the Shang figure, whatever. Like they did a Power Ranger run. They're doing Dragon Ball Z right now.
Yeah.
$20 for a small ass figure.
So they're doing Loyal Subjects. That's the company. They used to do the little Ninja Turtle figures. The mystery boxes. That's what they were known for. So they started making action figures. They made that one, which is the Loyal Subjects. I think it's the BS brand, which is action figures. They did the original Turtles. They did Bebop Rocksteady. They did Casey Jones. They did Shredder.
I love my Bebop.
Some look great. Bro. Some look good. Some don't look great. I mainly wanted those because NECA has not made those in toy form yet, and that's the Urban Turtles. They call it the Urban Turtles. It's one scene. And this thing, it's one scene in the first season that they wore those jackets, but I wanted those particular jackets and not the alternate ones they made.
The fact that you were like, yo, I need it this color. I'm like, bro, this is all I see. Like, I didn't even know that they even made even more. I didn't even know at the time, because like me, I just randomly show up at Target and Walmart just to see what they have, because I know what you look for. I know what Jerry looks for. I know what I look for. I find things for my gym membership with Jeremy, because like, shouts out to Sriracha. He owns his own gym on Long Island. First session is free on the house. Go and check him out.
So give Tommy 2 free weeks, and I give you the century.
Nah, it's not about 2 free weeks.
I'm joking.
But you know, that's my man. So it's
I'm
like,
joking.
instead of me paying the money, I buy him stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because me and him are. I got him, bro. I single-handedly created his toy collection. Yeah. And he now has an honorary toy collection, like something to be proud of. Yeah. Me randomly picking things out for him. Like, here you go, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I do. Yeah. So, I also been seeing characters from this season. That's out, which is in the first episode of this 2003 series. That little android dude, the
Future Story. Yeah. So he's from the comic book.
Yeah, but from what I seen. Yeah. He's like, that's a figure. Now, that figure, you said, is from the comic books, or is it from this series?
From the comic.
So they implemented him in this series.
He first appeared, actually. So remember, the first 6 issues of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The first 2,
the originals.
Yeah, the first 2 is the Shredder fight, and they kill Shredder. After that, they meet Fugistoid, and they go to a different planet. They fight the cranes and all that shit. So you kind of get introduced to them really early.
So what this season implemented was more of a nod to the original comic.
This season,
which I didn't know this, because I didn't read the original.
So this series in general is a big homage to the Mirage comic book series. Okay. So a lot of the stuff they take from the episodes are from the comic book series.
Well, the graphics on the box itself is that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So from the comic books, the Eastman, you see the Eastman and Larry,
because that's part of their comic book series.
Okay.
So those are
I didn't
all
know that.
I
thought originally, because I've been watching the show, that when I saw the little android dude from the first episode, that it was based off of the show. So.
Nah, so he is based on he's based on the original. He's like one of the original characters and shit like that. So,
which is dope. It's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And the fact that they implement them in later seasons to give a nod to the past, which gives them a re-amped, life. You know what I mean? Which is cool.
This series, like us going back as we did season 1. You hear our verdict. We really enjoyed it. They did a good job in homaging the first movie. They did a good job in just bringing the Turtles into a more mature style, but also still having the comedic moments and things like that.
So all we have to go off of so far from doing the Ahhh Shell Shock, we have the movies. Yeah. So going in, we shouldn't have watched Turtles Forever.
I'm glad we did, though.
I'm totally glad we did, because it was refreshing, because it was one of the best movies out of all the movies that we've done. It's probably top 3.
But one thing I actually like that you got to see, though, is how ruthless this Shredder is. Yeah. In this one, and then you have not met him yet.
But I automatically, when we were watching the first season, was in my brain was like, yo, when do we find out? Like, what season are we talking about, or what series are we talking about that Shredder is a Krang?
See, that was the thing.
That gave it away to me.
And I remember us going through, when we first started this for this first season, I forgot that we watched Turtles Forever.
Yeah. I mean, go and check out our previous cast.
Because I didn't want to spoil it for you, so I was staying quiet. I was like, yo, do you... But you was like, "Oh, I know." Like Turtles Forever. I was like, "Yeah, you did. We did watch it."
I've been waiting for this for a while, and this is the
ultimate. This is the ultimate version of Shredder. Yeah. This is. I will say this is definitely probably top 1 or 2 of incarnations of Shredder. That's my favorite.
What I like about it is that he goes. So he's a little Krang figure, right? He's like a little Krang being, but he's not only dressed up as the Shredder, he's dressed up as Yamato Yushi. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I mean, yeah, Yamato, Kusaki, yeah. He's dressed up as him, so he pretends to be human. Yeah. Not just the Shredder, which I think is fucking genius, because he's still trying to blend in with society. Yeah. And it shows in this series that the Krangs So a little insight of them, they got stuck on
Utawas or something like that.
They're the Nutrions or something.
Well,
like
neutrons
that.
is the neutrinos.
No, in this series they're called the Nutrions.
The neutrons.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm pretty sure. I mean, if we look it up, I'm pretty sure it's right here.
I thought they were called the Utrons.
It's Utrons or Nutrions or something like that. I know that for a fact because it kept throwing me off every time I was watching it. Like, don't you mean neutrinos? But obviously the neutrinos aren't existing currently in the show. I know they come. You spoiled that for me before. And it sucks because I'm usually the person who forgets these things, but I'm looking for these specific things now because I'm I want to see it. I want to see it come.
Ultrons.
Ultrons.
Ultrons, yeah.
Yeah, Ultrons. Ultrons, yeah. Literally, it's right in front of me right now. So, but this season, I liked it better than the first. I think that it's a relief to get off of the '88 series.
Yeah.
The nostalgia of the '88 series weighs heavier than the actual series itself.
Yeah.
We both agreed that maybe the first 3 seasons are the best, and then the rest up into the last season.
It has hit and miss.
You know what I mean? But this to me is more fluid. It's more storytelling. It makes you want to pay attention. It's not a one and done episode. Yeah, just like every other series and every other show, they have these one-off episodes here and there.
Yeah.
But it's mostly a continuous story.
The other thing is, like, again, if you're a big fan of the movie going into this series, the turtles are pretty much reminiscent of the movie. They're not the '89 cartoon.
100%.
So they are more like, again, the characteristics of the movie. They're just pretty much.
Splinter was an actual rat and not a human being with mental illness living in a sewer.
Yeah, so he was a rat that became a bigger rat because he was near a human, and is a kung fu man, a fucking G in this one because he won fight tournaments and all that. Shit. Here's
a nod to the crossover with the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I forget who actually asked him. I think it was Donatello that actually asked Splinter. He's like, "So were you a person?" Billy. Yeah, Billy. Were you a person that turned into a rat, or a rat that turned into a person? And Splinter said, "Exactly."
Yeah.
Which is a genius ass answer.
So this is a weird thing, and this is probably bring up, and we'll probably talk about it on the Morphicast when we go to the crossover. Is in the comic book series of what that's based on. They're incarnations of former people.
Okay.
So he turned into a rat, but he's an incarnation of Yamato Yoshi.
Okay, so he is.
It's a weird
version of him.
Yeah, it's a weird fucking spiritual shit.
Yeah, it's some. You say incarnation, but it's not reincarnation because he didn't die, right?
No, he died. So it was a reincarnation.
It's a reincarnation of, but he's known with the knowledge of being him.
Exactly, and it's anytime there's a shredder evolve, they're going to be there.
Which brings a spiritual aspect to it. Sometimes it doesn't work, but I guess in this world,
I will say so. It makes sense it makes a lot of sense in the comic, and the fact that. So this is again going away from what we're talking about, but in the comic book, it goes in a way because they both were part of the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
They both were high masters in the Foot Clan, but Foot Clan once had honor, and once Shredder took over,
they were shadows, but not evil.
Yeah. So when I told you this, and I spoiled it for you in the comic book,
it's okay. I don't mind.
I'm not gonna say what issue, because when it gets to the issue, I think you're still gonna have the same excitement, and be like, oh shit.
Well, seeing it is different than knowing it.
That Splinter, like, straight up chops Shredder's head off, like. Wow. I thought it was just a helmet. No, he cut his head off. Like, I saw blood, I saw the head. In
this series, what was the finale of Leonardo doing the same exact thing, but it ended up just being an empty helmet.
Yeah, but they didn't know that until this season.
So, and that was the first time that you really saw Leonardo go for the kill.
Yeah.
So to me, like, this already trumps the last season because it went from really kiddie, like little kid, to like 10, 11, probably that field of people. I think it's 7+ this show should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So going into, like I said, let me just finish the little thought with the comic, and then we go back into the story. So pretty much he kills and takes over the Foot Clan, and he's the leader of the Foot Clan. Turtle doesn't like him and shit like that. So he goes into that whole story with that. So we're gonna go. We're going to do our verdict of season 2 of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 03. This series itself was a lot of fun because I think you had different aspects of the world in this show. You had the space and multiverse combat. You had an actual fight tournament that kind of reminded me of the movie The Quest, or like you could even say Mortal Kombat in a way, just without the killing. That there was a whole fight tournament that my boy, one of my favorite characters in comic book history, Usagi Yojimbo, was part of, and he was a part of a 4-part series, and I know he comes back later on as well. So throughout this whole thing, it was a lot of stuff going on. I think it was a very action-packed run. I think it had a lot of stuff going for it. It was a big mix of things as well. There was, again, we had like the multiverse space battles in the beginning. Then we had back to the city, doing stuff in the city, things like that. You did have like the one-off episodes that some of them were good, some of them weren't that great.
That's what makes this season
overall,
good, bro.
This one had a lot of like continuation storylines. They also had a lot of good character building and storylines as well.
I agree 100%. I think that and I said it before, the continuation of story is what separates this from the other one.
Yeah.
The other one, every single episode was one and done, maybe 1 or 2 episodes, 3 the most. That was a continuation.
Yeah, and every time they see the alien, oh, did it exist?
Oh my God, how many fucking episodes do we have to deal with that, bro? Yeah. And how many episodes of them being transferred into another body or changing into a person, and then, you know what I mean? Like, how many times does Don Tortelli fucking have to go and take a look for it? You know what I mean?
Twice.
3 times.
He was 3?
I'm pretty sure he was in 3 episodes.
I hope he was in 3 episodes. I think 2, but I hope he's in 3 episodes.
I don't like the...
I want to know that he was in 3 episodes.
I like originality. I don't like the... So, this does share certain similarities between, things that give hints and nods, which is an ode. And just so you know, that beer that you're drinking right now looks amazing. I haven't tried it yet.
It's really good.
So, if you know anything about our podcast, we drink IPAs while we do this. And
yes.
And
that's why we go to a lot of tangents.
but that's what makes our cast.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And I appreciate everybody out there that follows us, likes, comments, and shares. Thank you. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. But then again, I just found out today that we actually do have a following, and we've been doing this shit for years. Yeah. So, but
listen.
Let's get down into this season.
Yes. All right.
We want to break it down episode to episode.
Do you want to do it like how we do the Morphin Cast? And what we do is we talk about the characteristics and stuff like that.
I'm cool with that. I mean, 26 episodes, break it down each episode.
And then we could do our favorites, and then some of our
worst. I'm cool with that. So. I mean, I don't want to drag out reading everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like
in this one, 100% Leonardo took a big step forward as being a leader.
Yeah.
He's more, but he's also more. I don't say he's more risk taking of himself, but he's more willing to take the next step if he had to. With
the ending of the last season, which we saw him, which is a big leap.
Yeah.
It was a big thing to show that he's willing to take that strike.
Yeah.
In order to save his family, you know what I mean? Which I love that they actually acknowledge that they're brothers in this, and that was a big gripe that I had with the '88 series.
Yeah.
They were just turtles that were put together, basically. Like they considered them brothers in this.
Yeah.
So with Leo, I thought that he took more of a real leadership, and I think Raphael did less battling him in this season of being leader. There was maybe a couple episodes here and there.
I think he found a way to work with Leo.
Yeah.
As in, he'll be like, I'll do the bad things and you just follow.
Exactly. It's like, if I gotta be the martyr to go and do this, I will. Yeah. I think Raph in this season was less angry than every other season that I've seen. I think that he played a pivotal role in the succession of their story. You know what I mean? He wasn't angry every single episode, and every episode wasn't based around him.
Yeah.
Which we know in the lore of Turtles, a majority of the stories is the battle with Raphael, who has leadership capabilities, qualities, and everything else, and then ultimately humbling himself. I felt like he was humble in this. He had a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt like Mikey stepped up a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Mikey.
He is the Battle Nexus champion.
That he is, which I will definitely say will go down as one of my favorite episodes.
One of my favorite series. The first series of episodes, I think that was my favorite. Just because this is the first time like fully watching it straight through.
Yeah.
I did watch pieces of it, but this is the first time I watched it straight through.
When's the last time you watched it? Until recent time. Because this is my first time ever watching it.
I found someone on YouTube that had it maybe a good 10 years ago, and I rewatched them again.
Did you watch it when it was airing?
Yeah, I did. I did watch it, but not like continuously.
Yeah,
I'll catch episodes
bro,
from there.
You're fucking 18 years old at the time. 19 years old at the time.
I still watched them.
Of course, but being an 18-year-old man fucking with hormones flowing through
But the thing with that one especially is my oldest nephew, he got into it. So it was something that I shared with him.
Bonding.
Like that,
Yes, it's nice.
So, like, even the figures and stuff like that, I got him the first 4 turtles and all that stuff, and then I bought myself the first 4 turtles just because if I bought him in, I got to collect it as well. So, in that channel. I thought they had a great toy line. I thought they had a kind of cool stuff on their toy line and stuff like that. I wish I got more into it as a collecting wise, but I thought it was a good toy line as well. So, but yeah, I think the Battle Nexus hands down was probably my favorite storyline of this series, and I liked the first appearance of the assassin that tried to take out Leonardo.
Yeah,
because the fact that he came in to try to fight Shredder. So he went after the person that killed Shredder, supposedly.
I thought that it was genius, and I love that little floating guy.
Yeah,
he was like the judge of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
I thought that was a cool concept.
I thought that was pretty dope.
It was a cool concept.
I like so because we've been collecting the toys, and we also know who the Triceratops guy is because we got that in '88.
I liked their storyline a lot.
I liked how they implemented him and his world into it because they're more of a space galactic world. So think of Earth evolving from dinosaurs. That's what they are. You know what I mean? And I thought that was cool. My favorite thing of it is seeing the transition of how the Shredder became the Shredder. Yeah. Because they went back into basically it was a virtual reality. Now this is one of my favorite episodes. Yeah. Is they got sent back into the virtual reality world because Baxter Stockman fucked up everything, which Baxter is hands down the best character.
We're gonna talk about Baxter. Baxter's gonna get his own section.
He's hands down the best character in the whole show. I'm sorry.
You talk about a guy that don't want to leave.
He doesn't give up. I swear to you, Baxter would be on my team all day, bro.
Yo, if I had to get a definition of someone that never gives up, that's the guy.
Yo, that's neither here nor there right now, but. That episode to me was because at the time they didn't know that the Shredder was this. Yeah, you know what I mean. So
they thought he was dead.
Yeah, they thought he was dead
the whole time.
They were just sucked in like a hologram visual world where they were in it. It was like watching a replay. You know what I mean? It's like going back in time, but you can't interact with the time. Yeah. But Baxter Stockman ended up messing everything up, and they were allowed to go. Now this is what 10th century, 11th century feudal Japan. Yeah, you know what I mean. And then they see Shredder. You know what I mean? Like to me, for them to see that for the first time, like holy shit, there's a whole lineage of times. Oh, it's Shredder's great grandfather. You know what I mean? And that's where they thought about. But at the same time, you see that. The evolution of these Ultrams.
Ultrams,
Ultramos.
The cranes.
Yeah, the cranes.
The brains. Yeah, the cranes.
How they were here back in the day, and they got stuck here, and they had to learn how to adapt through the times. Yeah, you know what I mean. So they created androids to make themselves look human. Yeah, to be accepted by society because We as a fabric of people in thought and conscious can't think of aliens. You know what I mean? Like living amongst us in this world. You know what I mean? So like they had to blend in, and to see the progression of the Shredder of how he became was dope because he's just a rebel ass Krang that just was tired of bullshit. You know what I mean? And stole their technology, stole everything. So like I thoroughly enjoyed that segment of this show.
Yeah.
Because you got to see the beginning of how he started.
Yeah.
And where his anger was. He was just an asshole.
Yeah. He wanted to kill his people. So that was so to give you a clear part where it's at, that is episode 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say
7,
6 or 7. I'm not really looking at
8.
it right now, but
so it was a 3-part series. It was really good. Like, it was really cool. And then I actually liked the brain. Like, he has a scar and shit.
Yeah, no, he had 2 of them.
Yeah.
He was like Kang the Conqueror of his time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the way he looked. And he was red.
Yeah.
He wasn't like pink like the other brains and stuff like that. Because that's what Krang looks like, a brain.
So there was one, I think it was episode 10. And I think that was the reflections. So they pretty much gave you, it was pretty much a recap episode. But it helped. Because there was a lot of things that I forgot, and then they brought back to recap, and how they told it was in the farmhouse.
Yeah, that was episode 8.
Yeah,
that
10.
was 10.
Reflections. Yeah.
So like, I was gonna skip that at first, but I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Everything. So they broke it down, and it was like, all right, I remember this now. I remember Leo chopping his head off. I remember the whole thing. I remember the big guy that basically is the big guy in fucking Double Dragon. You know what I mean? The big henchman dude.
Yeah, the Purple Dragon.
Yeah. Which does have a lot of nods to. There's a lot of Street Fighter in this game, in this movie. Yeah, I mean show. You know what I mean? There's a lot of nods to.
There's a lot of pop culture nods too.
Exactly, and I think that's cool because at the time this is the Millennium. You know, the Millennium just dropped. They tried to revamp the Ninja Turtles, and I think so far they've been doing a great job.
We got introduced to Leatherhead.
Yes, they do. And he was an asshole at first, but then he had a reason behind what he was doing. You know what I mean? I think that, and I'm pretty sure I said this in the first season or episode of the first season, Splinter's play in this has been so much better. This is probably the best version of Splinter we've had out of the movies, out of everything. This is the Splinter that deserves the respect. We've always hated on Splinter.
You know what's crazy though, and
he doesn't eat sashimi every day.
So this is the Turtles don't eat pizza every day either.
They eat donuts. They eat fucking pasta. They eat a whole bunch of things.
So
where's the cake? I heard there was pie.
So the thing with Splinter and this one, I really like Splinter this one, and then 2012, I think Splinter's.
I watched the first 10 episodes of 2012.
And the Splinter, I think there was really good, well done as well. And he's also like the father figure and things like that. So I'm excited to see where these two collide with each other. But I'll say one thing with 2012, that shit made me cry at one point.
Well, I remember watching it when it first came out, and then we had to delete everything that was on our TiVo.
Oh, yeah.
Our Optimum TiVo at the time.
YouTube TV. You have to delete shit
so,
off the TiVo.
One thing that I was excited for this is that because watching the TMNT movie, this character's in it.
Yeah.
Also, this character's in the video games. This character's also in the comic books. But I've never seen where this character came from or the origin. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I can never enunciate her name.
Oh, Karai.
Karai. I know, and it's funny because reading the comic, I say her name perfectly.
Yeah.
But when I talk about it, I can never enunciate it. Shouts out to Jenny Boom and shouts out to Andrew, her baby daddy.
Yeah.
We have an ongoing joke of me never being able to enunciate people's names.
Yeah.
It doesn't register in my head. There's people that we've worked with for the last 10 years at Metro North that I still don't know their names. I don't care enough. You know what I mean? But Karai.
Karai. Yeah.
We got to see her origin.
Karai is a really strong character too. And this is another character I will say in 2012. 2012's story going through Karai, I'll say it goes really deep.
Yeah.
But this one, they kind of have her go back and forth. They kind of have her, like, you see in this one, that she's loyal to Shredder, but she sees the dishonor in Shredder, but then she don't care because that's who she believes that's her father.
He adopted her. You know what I mean? She was an orphan.
Yeah.
That, you know, and she's raised up to believe honor, and then when Shredder turns to her like, your honor doesn't mean shit to our plan.
I wish he could say shit.
I wish he could too. If they could curse, that would be amazing.
You mean shit.
You mean shit. Everything you believed in, nip that shit in the butt. This is the plan. But the only iteration of her that I really got introduced to is when we watched TMNT.
Oh 07, yeah.
So, and that's when there was an actual live Shredder who was a person.
Yeah.
But this is the original.
Yeah.
Now, was she in the comics before?
She's in the comics.
So
She's
this is before the whole series and everything.
Yeah. So this is gonna be kind of a spoil. Like it spoils the thing because to explain her character and the building of her character, it goes into Splinter.
Yeah.
One of the best iterations of her storyline is 2012.
Okay.
Then, as in Shredder, pretty much kidnapped her and made her his own.
So she didn't know, she was too young. She was basically abducted as a child,
but she
and
finds
then raised to believe that this is her father.
Yeah, but in 2012, Splinter is human.
Okay. Yeah.
Turned to rat.
Yeah.
And that wound up being her father.
Okay.
So when he finds out that's his daughter, and there's the whole thing with that, and it's a big storyline.
Okay, well, when we get to the 2012, that's what I'm going to think
of.
But
in this one, she's adopted with it, and it goes into.
But I like the interaction with her and Leo.
Yeah.
I think that they were growing a bond together because her mission, I forget exactly what her mission was at the time, but she battled it out with Leo, and then came to a common thing to get a common ground done. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then Leo was like, I'm going to let you rock. And she's like, I'm going to let you be. Yeah. And then Shredder was like, all right, that's going to be your first thing. You're going to kill him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that really started testing her faith in what she has been grown to believe in. You know what I mean? Which is a rite of passage, which is her having a conscience, which is her being an actual person instead of this alien who obviously has an agenda and doesn't have a heart or a brain or a thing. Shredder only has an agenda. That's it. To take over shit. Yeah. And the turtles are in the way.
Shredder is very Genghis Khan-like in this show.
Bro, when I was watching this, everything points to Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Everything.
Even the way the crane looks.
Yes. Bro, I'm so happy you said that because I had that feel. It takes me back to the movie The Shadow.
Yeah.
The Genghis Khan and that and that's what I picture.
Yeah, shout outs to our guest Shredcast. We did review that movie.
Everybody go and check that. Go and check that out. Shouts out to Louis.
It wasn't a bad movie. It was a bad movie, but it wasn't a bad movie.
I love Alec Baldwin in that movie. I think he was perfect for the role of the Shadow because his monotoneness and his voice, like you will not remember.
We gave it a decent review. I think me and Mike.
I would say it's a 6.
Well, we did 1 of 5, so I think we gave it a 3.
3, which would be a 6 in the 10 world.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? So, but that movie is awesome, bro. Yeah. It really is. And when I was a kid,
it had cool concepts. It could have been honestly, if that movie would have came out maybe like 5 years later, it would have had better CG.
Yeah, but you gotta also realize that is not a real known character that the world is beloved by.
But you'd be surprised like what characters actually get the money to do a better movie and they suck.
I mean, it's a mid-90s movie.
Yeah.
A mid-90s comic book unknown movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of
nowadays, I guarantee you, walk up to 5 people in the street right now and ask them if they've seen The Shadow and they ain't never seen it.
No, I guarantee that.
You know what I mean?
I could probably...
I've seen that movie at least 30 times in my life.
I probably watched it like 3 or 4.
It was on the hot box when I was a kid at my aunt's house, and I watched it like 3 days straight. Bro.
So I remembered the car. I had the car.
Yeah. I remember the driver of the car was the dad in fucking Who Everybody Loves Raymond, which is one of the cab drivers in Taxi Driver.
There you go.
I remember that movie like the back of my hand. But that Genghis Khan feel...
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so happy you said that because that's the way I felt about Shredder.
He has like a ruler mentality that he wants to take over everything.
It doesn't matter what it takes to do it.
What he has to do to do it.
The only thing he needed was a floating sword.
That and
like a Saba.
You not to fail him.
Yeah. Or you will die.
Baxter Stockman. Shout out to... He's been a consistent character that...
He's hilarious.
You hate him, but you like him because he has resilience, but you hate him as well.
He keeps trying to outdo the Shredder.
But his problem also is he tries to betray him a lot of the time, too.
Bro, in the first part of the second season, now in the first season we know he's a person, and he gradually gets chopped down, alright? Every time he fails, he loses a limb. He loses something.
Yeah, Shredder will say, like, you disappoint me, and
you're not worth it to kill you, because you are still a brain. You are still a thought. This guy in the beginning of this, literally is a laying head in a mechanical spider.
Yeah.
And just going through the ducts of every place that they go.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And it's still a diabolical part of this show.
Yeah.
It's fucking epic. I want a figure of Baxter Stockman as a brain and as him as a spider.
I think he had the spider.
Okay. But I want a NECA 2-pack of him as a spider.
I wonder if
and a
NECA
brain.
will do the 03 series.
I mean, do they have the rights to it?
Not right now.
Because NECA does what? The movies.
NECA has the rights to the movies and cartoon series.
And the 88 cartoon series. Because now everything else is owned by Nickelodeon. I mean, Nickelodeon owns it all now.
Yeah. So
they own the rights to...
toys, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that NECA probably...
If they do 03 stuff, I think it's going to be a selected people to collect.
I mean, so the Batman crossover with Ninja Turtles, is that NECA?
No.
So there we go.
That was DC.
Okay.
DC collectibles.
So DC did that.
And then Hasbro did the Power Ranger collect.
Okay,
side.
so there is other rights out there because...
well, Turtles is a horde. Like, it's everywhere.
Oh, yeah. If you watch that History of the Ninja Turtles, which is on Tubi, you can watch that right now.
It's a
on
horde.
Tubi.
Like,
it's a hoe.
It's
a hoe for
well,
sure.
Playmates have it. They're
Mattel had it. Fucking everything had it.
They're running the anyone could team up with them. They got Stranger Things. They got
fucking Cobra Kai, which
they
is
got
Netflix.
Street Fighter.
You know what I mean? So
they got Street Fighter.
They got
Ghostbusters.
They got their finger in a lot of things.
Like I said, I got the WWE ones. They had crossover WWE. I wish they would do another series because I think there's some guys I would like. I would like to see like Raphael as Roman Reigns. I think that would be dope. Put Mikey as
I think
the New Day.
I think that Casey Jones would be a good Roman Reigns.
So the only thing is the fact that they only use the Turtles.
Okay.
So that's the reason why I would say
besides the Monster series.
Yeah. So they use the Turtles mainly with the play, and this is on their Playmates because they even did the Ghostbusters ones. Did you ever see those? They're weird looking because they actually
I see.
They put humanized faces.
Yeah,
on them
it was bad. They tried to represent Spangler and Spence and stuff like that, and
because in the comic book they kind of draw them like them, in that sense.
Is there anything that besides what you just said? More wrestling. Is there any other world that you would want them to tap into?
With Turtles?
I mean, just off the top of your head. I mean, that's a thought for another
Spider-Man.
day. Yeah, I mean, that would be dope.
Spider-Man and the Turtles. I think that's like a match made in heaven that never been done.
Yeah. Or just Marvel and Turtles.
And they're both New York.
Marvel and Turtles.
Yeah.
Turtles already did. They don't have a toy line, but they've already meshed in the world of the Justice League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they never at least they team with Batman, so they kind of conclude into the DC run. But we never ever got a Spider-Man teaming up with the Ninja Turtles. I would love that.
I would love, since they're Nickelodeon, maybe either do like a Rugrats kind of feel. I know like baby turtles, but did the mega diaper babies.
They're actually making baby turtle figures.
But you remember? Well, I got you that for a long time ago.
They're actually making the cartoon ones.
Okay. But just being like Tommy Pickles would be obviously Leo because Tommy always wears blue. Chucky would be Michelangelo
or Donatello.
No, Phil and Lil would be Phil or Lil would be Donatello.
Angelica would be Raphael.
Well, Angelica's the devil, so I can understand that. But I mean, because they're four, right?
I'll be down with that.
Think of or Recess or something like that. Because they're Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Tie into the Nickelodeon 90s.
Or maybe have the Nicktoons, the original 4 Nicktoons, and have them in turtle form. So have Doug as Michelangelo. Has Tommy Pickles as Leonardo.
Do it in
have Stimpy as
have Mickey Mouse world.
Yeah.
Or Winnie the Pooh world.
It'd be interesting.
You know what I mean? You can literally throw the Ninja Turtles in anything.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what they.
And it will sell.
So yeah, Baxter Stockman, the most resilient dude ever.
Where did he ended up ultimately
right now?
be?
Yo, that shit had me rolling too. Is the City at War storyline, and at the end, Shredder, you see his hand pop out like the movies and shit, and then
like,
after that,
yet, motherfucker.
then you see him pop out the water. He's a brain and an eyeball.
He's
in a vial.
In a vial, yeah.
He's a brain and an eyeball, and
he's like, I made it. I'm alive too, motherfucker.
He's like, I'm still alive.
If he would have said motherfucker, like, I'm alive, motherfucker.
I felt
and then he drowns back.
He didn't say it, but I felt it.
Bro, that was a real cheers out loud moment to me. It was like,
that shit had me
motherfucker, bro.
Rolling. Yo, I forgot about
one of the biggest highlights in the entire series, bro. It really was.
I liked it. The Justice League, the JSA looking.
I enjoyed it mixed with and you said
shout out
earlier.
Adam West talked the Stanley Steel.
It was more of a Watchmen feel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like they're older.
So,
but it all ties into. And when I said it in the beginning, how they give nods to the old ones. Look at '88. How many episodes was a comic book episode of Michelangelo reading a comic book? Yeah. It was a straight nod to that, and I loved it because it became. And I remember the whole episode like it just happened. It's like Michelangelo's reading. The episode starts. It's the epic battle, and Michelangelo's a part of it. And all of a sudden, snaps to. It's like the end of the comic. He's like, I need to find the next comic. And he calls up every comic book store in New York, and they don't have the comic. So Casey Jones is like, I know my man Steve, but he's up north. Stanley, So Splinter's trying to meditate. He's like, everybody get the hell out.
That shit made me laugh so much. He was like, you're messing with my patience.
You're fucking killing me. He's like, Ninja is about being patient, and you're really testing my patience right now. But it shows the human factor of Splinter, too, and also shows a parent with his kids.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a nod to that. But that whole episode...
It was cool.
And I said, I know, I forget her name in the show, in the episode. But now, they go to the comic book store, and it's actually real. It was a real thing. He was like, I need issue 137 or something like that. And he's like, there is no episode 137, issue 137. I know. Basically, it ends up being the guy. So they end up going back into action like a Watchmen field because they're all done and ran out. And the girl comes back because that was the biggest feud of turning the girl against them. And she comes back, and they're like, the guy's like, you're so young. How are you so young still? And she's like, I am not so-and-so, which is like her superhero name. And she's like, I am not her. I'm Andrea. Like, she didn't even have like an alias. It was like, I'm Andrea, her daughter. I don't know. You have to watch the episode. I know I'm not iterating it right.
22.
I know I'm not saying it right, and I'm probably blotching it and dropping the ball, but everybody watch that episode because that one part, I was laughing my ass off.
And I like the fact that they all were old and they all had issues with their powers. You still had the speedster still in the wheelchair, fucking going fast and stuff.
Shit.
The stretch dude, he had to crack himself.
But it also reminded me of The Incredibles.
It reminded me of The Incredibles. It also I was telling you that it reminded me of a Spider-Man animated series. So there was an episode, it was a 2-part episode called The Secret of the Six. And it was like the six superheroes that had keys.
This is a good fucking beer right here, just so you know.
They had keys to unlock, and they knew like Parker's parents and all that shit, and they went like that, but they were all old and shit like that, and that's what it reminded me of as well. I like the fact that it was like very old school characters and shit like that. Like the dude had a metal steel on his fucking forehead.
What I will say is the episode before this episode is probably my least favorite episode. When they go into the dimension of, it's a different dimension and they're searching for April. So remember in the first season, which is a nod to the original movie, she lived in an antique store that her uncle owned. And it got burnt to the ground. Same thing, just like the movie. Her uncle owned it, an antique store. But now they get sucked into a different dimension, and then they're finding pieces of hints of her uncle. And it turns into Dino, the last dinosaur. Turns into Land Before Time. It has the worst sing-along song going down the Nile River. You know what I mean? It's legitimately... I wish I could blip that out of my brain.
April's Artifact.
That one gave a negative nod to this series, and everything has been positive so far.
And I think everything, like, I picked up Rogue in the House, which was the Triceratops that helped the turtles out. I liked that series. I thought it was actually really cool.
the fact that Michelangelo mentioned in one episode of him being a Ronin.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because of where we're at right now.
I always liked Mikey in this. I really like Mikey's in the series because he's not taken seriously, and he's the one that lines up having
he does a lot in this show.
But he also has a reasonable knowledge and shit like that, and they're like...
You didn't expect that. He is a smart hippie.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Yeah. And then, I definitely will say, and...
The last runoff.
Usagi Yojimbo.
Yes. Yes, the Samurai Rabbit.
The Ronin.
I love those last series. I thought it was perfect way to end it. It didn't end off on a shredder. We all know the shredder survived the explosion.
Yeah.
Of the underwater place. We know that.
The ship, yeah.
Leaves it for next season.
Yeah.
Leaves it with that.
So there's something I told you that for the next season, pay attention to the theme song.
Yeah, the change. You said that there's
a change. There's a subtle change in the theme song. And you might get a kick the first time you hear it.
So growing up in the 90s, one of my favorite movies was The Quest.
Yeah.
And the last series, the last 3 STEM series towards the end, was strictly that.
It reminded me of The Quest and Karate Kid just for the fucking referee thing.
Yeah, that and also Mortal Kombat as well. Yeah. But they didn't die.
Yeah. So
which I thought was a good hint because it's not about killing to the death. Yeah. It's about outthinking, outmaneuvering, outsmarting, outfighting. Splinter.
Yeah.
Oh my God! When that moment happened, when he was like, Splinter's already won.
Yeah.
This Yamato Yoshi already won this.
Yeah.
So he's like, this is not my battle to fight, and he kneels out to Michelangelo.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, yo, bro, like. This is our Splinter. This is the Splinter that I will buy sashimi for.
We won't have fuck Splinter anymore.
No, never again.
While this series is going on, we don't have fuck Splinter.
No, I think this Splinter will be this will be the pedestal.
I will say top 3.
Pedestal.
It depends on your taste, and because I think
in the movies, in the actual live action movies, he still didn't do anything.
So you know what?
Besides Tatsu, that whole
I will say
thing?
top 4. The reason why, because knowing your sense of humor, you might like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter, is because he's like a Jackie Chan that turned into a rat.
Okay.
And he teaches them off of his movies.
Okay. I mean, I got a pretty messed up sense of humor, but this one as a mentor and as a father,
no, it's
100%. This is number 1 when it comes to that.
I think you're gonna like the comic version. I think you're gonna like the 2012.
I hated the live action 2010s version of him. Horrible. The 88 version, he is just a mentally ill 28-year-old guy.
07 was good. Because he joined them in the fight.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest, that's probably my least memorable movie. Yeah. I just remember them going to the jungle for that one thing.
I like that whole scene. That was like my favorite scene.
I remember the fighting scene in the rain on the roof. Yeah, I remember that. And which we should dive back into it and have a new outlook after we're done with the shows. Yeah. You know what I mean? Also, we also want to dive into the comics as well.
I've been reading
and I'm pretty sure the comic book versions will probably outweigh everything that we see. You know what I mean? But currently, in motion version,
he's number 1.
This is number 1.
He's number 1. He is definitely
out of what we've seen so far. Number 1.
Number 1.
This is Splinter, hands on. I'm tired of your shit. I bow to you as my son. I build you up, but I will also knock you down.
Yeah.
That's Splinter. You know what I mean? Like, don't test daddy, motherfucker.
Yeah. So when we were watching it, we watched the last 4 episodes once we got to my house, and when he was about to put the nunchuck on him, he was like, "Yo, is he gonna fuck up Michelangelo?" I was like, "That would have been
like, oh, motherfucker, you gotta really earn it." I was waiting for that, but I do appreciate what he did.
Again, it shows the father. It shows the father in him.
It also shows the wisdom of.
And and then when he sits down right next to the guy that runs the tournament. He tells him, "Oh, I see the father got the better of you." He's like, "Yes, it does. Because if my son wins, I win." in that
Exactly.
sense. And that made sense, and it hit.
Brings a tear to my eye a little bit. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a father-son. It's a father-son moment. And the fact that Michelangelo beat Raphael. I'm sorry. That
was the thing I was telling you about. Like, yo, pay attention to Raph and Mikey, and how much Raph fucking picks on Mikey. He's gonna get the last.
And then what did he say in it? He's like, I can't lose to him. Yeah. I'm never gonna hear the end of this shit. And then he lost to him. Yeah. And then he ended up ultimately winning.
Yeah.
So there's 3 lineages of Yamato Yoshi in this, which is amazing to me. You know what I mean? So Yamato Yoshi is really the stem of the line. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I loved, even though I made fun of it when we watched it, the fact that Leo stood in front of the statue and meditated in front of him, like, you guys go without me. Yeah. I never met this man before. This is my grandfather. That was like that was leadership. I get chills thinking about it, because that was a real moment with him recognizing where he came from. It necessarily, yes, he didn't come from that biologically, but mentally, family-wise, history-wise, just the nod to his ancestry, I thought was beautiful.
Yeah, it was really good. And one of my favorite parts of the season, Usagi Yojimbo.
Usagi Yojimbo, he was just classic Usagi Yojimbo.
He busted ass, he took names, and he's one of my... So, Usagi Yojimbo's...
I have not read his comics, so...
He's one of my favorite characters in comic book history. Like, I've been reading his comics since I was a fucking kid. Like, I think I have his whole run to about 200.
That's a lot of comics.
Like, I have... Like,
that's like 2 boxes, bro.
I have the first comic. I have a lot of this shit because... I was such a fan, and I told my mom I was really into it. Yo, in the comic book, he's pretty much walks around. He's a lost Ronin, so he's by himself. Walks around, he drinks sake, and he fucks people up. That's pretty much his comic.
He's like me. And it's like me in my life, but I don't fuck people up.
He's such a dope character, and how they presented him in this cartoon made me happy. Because I feel like in the 89 one, he wasn't presented as strong.
But I feel like he had real similar characteristics to him. Like, they gave him a proper nod to... Because that's where he's originally from.
Well, he first showed up in he was in the comic first.
Yes, but for the world to really see.
The cartoon, the cartoon toy line.
Which he had 3 episodes.
Yeah, 3, and then the toy line. He had a toy before he even.
I remember that toy too. I do.
I have it.
I don't share the same enthusiasm of him, but I do see the appeal of why you do like him. Yes.
I actually love his comic.
I mean, to have a side character that's as badass as the main characters is fucking dope.
So, and also, like, I will give the credit to it because they gave a nod to the Turtles' first appearance with Usagi Yojimbo, the comic book.
I see a lot of the first comic because that's the only real comic of... I read the first 3 of the original series because I own number 2. Yeah. So I read the first 3, and I see a lot of that in this series.
So Usagi and Leonardo, they had like a one... It was like maybe 6-panel comic book. It was like a short comic, and that was the first time that Stan Sasaki drew the Turtles. When he drew the Turtles, it was a Leonardo and Usagi fight.
And it's only right that he drinks sake. Usagi.
And they paid homage when they fought each other. They paid homage to their fight. They fought each other exactly the same way as in the comic.
Okay.
So I always gave credit to that. Other than that, like, this series is just a lot of fun.
It's good. I'm intrigued to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't like become like every other show, you know, where the series the story starts to dwell and dwindle.
I will say 100% right now.
I remember you telling me that
season
after
3 and season 4, you're fine. After season 4,
it goes to 7 though, right?
Yeah, after season 4, it kind of goes into a different route that you may not like, and then the last season was okay.
So far, at this moment in time, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So when that time comes, I will see it for fresh eyes, and I will obviously give my input.
So we're going to give a verdict, 1 to 5. What are you going to give this series?
4.
I'm going to give it 4 or 5.
I'll give it a 4. I think 4 is fair.
I'm going to go 4 or 5.
There is a lot that's good, but there's a lot more that I need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, every component of an animated show. You know me.
Yeah.
I can't pay attention to animated series. This has me paying attention. You know what I mean? So I'll give it a solid. I'll give 4.2. I'll give 4.2. I'll give it one notch over 4 to show that. Wait, what did I give the first? I think I gave it 4.5, right?
You gave it 4.5.
So then I have to go 4.5 because I actually think this series is better. This second season is better than the first, but there's more that I need. I need more Baxter. I want Baxter to get his body back.
I will give it a 4.6 because I gave the last one 4.5.
I'm going to give it a 4.
Just because this one was
I'll agree.
I say this series was slightly better. It had its bad episodes, but there was very few of them.
Yeah.
Because even the one-off episodes weren't that bad.
One thing that just popped in my head. April O'Neil pretending to be a news reporter.
Yeah.
That was an epic scene and moment in time.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, yeah, that looks good. And she's like, no, I don't like this shit. You know what I mean? Like, she pretended because she's an archaeologist. You know what I mean? So it's like, or a scientist, whatever she is.
Scientist.
But the fact that she posed as a reporter was a beautiful nod to her. And I can end it off with that one.
Yeah. So, we are done with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 03, Season 2. We will be doing Season 3 next. So
look out for the Morphin Cast, where we will give a verdict of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover with the Power Rangers.
Yes, we will be reviewing that on the Morphin Cast, so definitely check that out. So we're gonna end this cast off. Thanks for listening. I am Merc the Mike. You can follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, or Merc the Mike. You can follow my TikTok page, Merc with the Mike. I just post figures and beer.
Yeah.
That's my theme.
First and foremost, that is a tic-tac.
Tic-tac.
That is a TikTok that I will stand behind.
So, figures and beer. The beers I drink and the figures I get, those are the things that are going to be on there.
I think if there was a realm of TikTok that I ever did besides Popcorny Podcast, which I will talk about it in a few minutes or a few seconds, whatever it is, it would be a theme sort of down the line.
I think my cast is just going to be figures and beer. And then also our posting the podcast that we have and all that stuff too. Also follow Red Cycle Link on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and WordPress. They have a WordPress. Definitely check that out. Also, thank you, our producer Mike.
He always Louis Beans, my man.
Louis Beans, Mike. He always makes our cast brilliant and sound great. So
I always appreciate what you do, brother.
Yeah,
100%.
And follow Tenacious T.
Yes, you can follow me at Tenacious T RC Inc. on Twitter. You can also follow me on my own personal Instagram page, The Real Tatsuwap. Also, go and check out the Popcorny Podcast. I'm under the alias of Tatsuwap. I do that with my partner, Sriracha, everything pop culture. You can find that out on Spotify and SoundCloud. Soon to be on YouTube. It's also, you can go and check out the Popcorny 1975 Instagram page and the Popcorny 1975 TikTok. Shouts out to T.Y., Straw Hat T.Y., who is also a co-host of the Popcorny Podcast. The Merc with the Mic is also an avid contributor to it, so he is definitely Popcorny all day. You can find all that on everything I just said.
I feel like I'm in a gang.
Well, anything 3 and above is considered a gang, so it works out. Always a shouts out to Game On, retro video game store based out on Long Island at 3 separate locations, one in Smithtown, one in Patchogue, and one in Miller Place, satisfying all your retro video game needs. Also check out the the Game On Retro Video Game Arcade located in Smith Haven Mall in Lake Grove, Long Island. $20 for adults, $10 for kids. All you can do, play, eat, go in the mall, go shop, come back, get a stamp. Also down the road is Time Warp and Retro Relics.
Yeah.
And while you're at it, go shoot down the road and go to Fatty McGee's and get some wings and fucking Guinness.
I want wings.
You know what I mean? Always a shout out to the Mind of an Artist. Check out his page, Drugs and Demons, and Mind of an Artist. He's the one that created the Popcorny logo. It's my man. Shouts out to Jerry.
I love him.
Shouts out to the Max. Can't wait to get you back on the mix of everything. Shouts out to Franklin. Shouts out to Santana. Shouts out to...
it's all your fault, Franklin.
Yeah, it's always Franklin's fault. Shouts out to... what's his fucking face? I'm a little tipsy now.
We don't know anymore. Anyway, shout outs to you if you're listening.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Peace out, laters, and always remember.
Fuck Zordon.
Fuck Zordon. We love Splinter now.
Feed him sashimi.
Give him sashimi. He
but
earned it.
Don't give Jankies a sandwich.
If you don't give him sashimi, I think he'll fuck you up. So
it's crazy how Splinter gets. I now will give Splinter sashimi, but I still won't give Jankies a sandwich.
Jankies don't deserve sandwich.
Well, I think one day he might get.
He's like the Tricks rabbit.
Tricks of a kid.
All right.
Peace
out, laters. And